Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 54th edition of Alabama Crimson Tide Live. All right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, and my partners in crime. Well, Coach Smith will not be here tonight because he is in a clientele meeting for a training session. And Jeffrey will be here in just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. But while we wait for our co-host, let me go ahead and tell you about what we've got going on Alabama with the Voice of College Football from the YouTube membership tiers. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member, where you'll have loyalty badges next to your name and the custom emojis and member shout-outs, especially from our good buddies, Godfather of the SEC, Deborah Rothschild, our newest member, and much, much more. There we go. Let's go. We got Godfather of the SEC. See what I mean? Member shout out and Godfather of the SEC is right here, right in time. All righty. Let's go. And for $4.99 a month, you can become a Saber Disciple, where you'll have priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey on Talk Sports, and Coach Smoke Hines. And for $9.99 a month, you can become a Bear Bryant legend, where you'll have content requests and connect on social media with each of us, all right here on the channel. And neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor the miserable Bama weather will put a stop to us from fulfilling your content request, all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. All righty, and of course, that is not all, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the merch store from Alabama with the Voice of College Football. Which would you like to get? Which would you like to get? The dad hat, the trucker hat, the t-shirts, the heavyweight t-shirts, the sweatshirts, the polo shirt, the game day mug, the tumbler, or the can cooler. Personally, I'm waiting until it gets closer to my birthday. My birthday is 2 weeks from now, and I'm probably going to spoil myself with a game day mug. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Which would you like to get? Well, it's all right there. And let me go ahead and put it in the chat. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's all right there. On Alabama Voice College Football. Tell your friends, family, and cashiers of Publix about the magic that the Alabama merch store is bringing. All right here. Right on you. All righty. So we've got some stuff that needs to be fixed for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And we need to figure out what we need to work on for the bye week. And I've been thinking a lot about it. And, because we didn't have any sacks before. Well, we had one sack entering the game against Wisconsin. And to be honest, that was cool that we had 4 sacks against them on Saturday, right? But we need more than that. We have to take advantage of it. We didn't get that many sacks against Louisiana Monroe. I don't think we had any, to tell you the truth. And it was a bad look. It was just a terrible, terrible, terrible look. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Alabama Crimson Tide, shall we? Let's go to the Tide schedule. Get out there, ad. We don't care about those miserable ads. We don't care about them. But let's look at it. Let's look at the rushing yards, right? Because that is what's key. We need to fix the running game. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. And from Florida State, right, we had 87 rushing yards. Completely insane. That was not good. Not good at all. When you have that many rushing yards, that is not good. Now let's look at Louisiana Monroe. 212 rushing yards total. We have games like that, we're good to go. We are more than good to go. Stuff Barbie says we need to blitz, blitz, blitz. I could not agree more. Could not agree more, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's look at how he did against Wisconsin. How many rushing yards we got? 72 rushing yards. That's bad. We can't be having that many rushing yards against Georgia. Because next Saturday, it's going to get ugly. Our rushing offense is third worst in the nation. We're only ahead of LSU and South Carolina. Not good. That's just not good at all. But we need to fix it ASAP. We need to just fix what is going on. We have to fix the run game. That has to be fixed. Because if we don't, it will bite us in the rear. It will bite us humongously against Georgia, against Tennessee, against LSU. You really think it's not going to bite us against Oklahoma? You better think again. It will bite us. It could bite us against South Carolina. You know for doggone sure it's going to bite us against Vanderbilt. So we got to fix that running game. We have to fix it. And Hunter DeSilver from Alabama on Sports Illustrated says it magnificently. Now, we should have Jam Miller coming back against Georgia. So that should help for a little bit. That should help us. And, you know, we've got Washington. We've got A.K. Deer. We've got Kevin Riley. That should help for a little bit. And Richard Young. So we've got those guys coming back. We've got them helping out Jam Miller. That should totally help us. But we will wait and see what happens. And another thing that we definitely need to work on is establish the right side of the offensive line. And again, De Silva makes that excellent point as well. We have to fix that offensive line. Make sure we're getting it fully established. Now, injuries have been hurting us, no doubt about that. But we should get a lot of the key players coming back in a little bit, you know, when we play Georgia. I couldn't agree more, Stuff Barbie. We're learning and digesting, and we'll take care of business. It's like that song from that. I forget the band's name, but I heard it on an episode of American Dad and Regular Show. But it's taking care of business. Well, we'll definitely be taking care of business every day in Tuscaloosa. If we work on those three things, making sure we've got the offensive line fits, making sure we keep building on the stats. We put enough pressure on Gunnar Stockton, we will be good to go. Put enough pressure on Aguilar. Put enough pressure on Arnold, Nussmeier, Mateer, Diego Pavia, because God knows we need to put a ton of pressure on Diego Pavia. I mean, you really think he's not going to step up? You better think again. He will step up his game. And he is ready to prove that the upset victory in Nashville was not a fluke. So we have to improve. Yep. Bachman Turner Overdrive. Thank you so much, B Jammin'. Thank you so much. And I think that song was in 1973. Oh, right. That was a Bama national title. There we go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. But I will say, we build on those sacks, we can get rolling. Because like that stat alarmed me to no end. When I saw that when we were playing Wisconsin, before we even started, when we had one sack entering that game, that is not a stat you should be having all the time. You want to have 5 stats a game. 5 stats a game. Do that, you're good. Yeah, we got to get out the belt on Pavia. Put a ton of pressure on Stockton, no doubt about it. You have to put a ton of pressure on him. We did a fantastic job against Wisconsin, no doubt about it. Now, 4 tackles for losses, that's good. We had a lot of them. We had a lot of tackles for losses. 12 tackles for losses against Louisiana Monroe. There you go. That's key. That is key right there. Keep putting that pressure. You're good. Get that ground game rocking and rolling against Georgia. You'll be good. You'll definitely be good to go. Because there's some holes from Georgia against Tennessee. And basically, when Georgia almost lost that game, like they would have lost had Tennessee not missed that field goal in regulation. That's something to remember. And honestly, we'll wait and see what happens for sure. But I do like where Ty Simpson was at. Week 1, he couldn't even trust his own instincts, especially on that 1 4th down play when he wanted to run, but instead he threw to Ryan Williams. He didn't trust his own instincts. But in week 2, he's had a heck of a lot more trust in his instincts. And in week 3, he's had a heck of a lot more trust of his instincts in both games. And it shows too. I mean, he's putting out video game numbers. All those people said, oh, well, Ty Simpson shouldn't be our starter. Ty Simpson. Well, I feel pretty good with Ty. We're good with Ty. We're going to be good to go with him. And I think we'll be feeling more than good to go, more than ever, as the season keeps rolling on for the Crimson Tide. Alrighty, before we get to our ad, we've got a couple super chats from Cade the Diesel Fruit where he says, OMFG, Bear Bryant is rolling in his grave because this Alabama team is a disappointment and a failure, and I can bet he's pissed off. I wouldn't say that. I don't think he liked the DeBose teams or the Sheila teams, but that's neither here nor there. But we appreciate the $5 super chat contribution, Caden. And he's bringing out another super chat for $2 where he says, I could bet Coach Saban is disappointed in this team. Well, once again, we appreciate the super chat contribution, Caden. I can tell you this, I always look forward to getting his calls on the Alabama call-in shows because, oh man, he says some of the funniest stuff, and he's a tremendous contributor to this channel. I mean, you love us, Caden. You love us. But I will say we appreciate the super chat contribution. But we've got some topics coming your way, including the injury updates on the Crimson Tide. And ladies and gentlemen, a message from Mark Rogers.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
That's why you go with the under-the-radar picks of the week from Steve Merrill and go with Mark Rogers and friends, Steve Dace, Corey Bratta, and Matt Zemek as they bring you the top-notch picks in the world of college football. Well, now, so we've got some injury updates. Ooh. Is Keenan coming back for Georgia? Is Jam Miller coming back for Georgia. Well, Caleb DeBoer gave his update where he talked about whether they're going to make their season debut. And as Scarborough from Bama 247 says, Keenan reportedly underwent tightrope surgery late last month and has not appeared in a game this season. While all signs point to him playing at Georgia, DeBoer cautioned it may not be the entire game. I think with any injury, there's a volume increase that has to happen and a progression. And this week, we'll keep building on a few of the things he did last week. And then, I don't know what that would be just yet. But at this point, kind of depends on the progress he makes. But yeah, I don't anticipate that he'll be able to go out and just play a full game. Maybe at the number of snaps he would have completely healthy. And as of right now, we'll be having London Simmons coming back in. Yeah, and Jam Miller had that collarbone injury before his season to repair the damage. And he led the team in rushing yards last season. He does have some explosiveness. So, chat, how are you feeling about Jam Miller and Keenan? Should they be coming back when they play Georgia, or do they just need to kind of sit and chill for the next few weeks, like until they're 100% healthy? Because personally, I'd like for him to come back against Georgia, but I don't want them to come back until we're absolutely sure that they're fine. I don't like the idea of just rushing it right away. I want to make sure everybody is all good before we can get things rolling. I mean, they're day-to-day going into the Wisconsin game, no doubt about that. And as I stated earlier in the show tonight, we're low on rushing yards for the season, and we're only ahead of LSU and South Carolina in the conference. That's not good, but oh well, What are you going to do? But got to get that ground game running, of course. Make sure it's not all on Jam Miller. But I think Jam will be happy to know that when he does come back, if it's against Georgia, he will have a bunch of running backs behind him. He'll be having Young and Washington and Deere all behind him. Just let him know, hey, we got your back, good buddy. We've got your back. And as for Keenan, he should know that things will be all right. And as long as you got London Simmons right behind you, I mean, we're getting things rolling. I can agree with that, B. Jammin. He says Jam could come back and just help with pass protection. Ty and the wide receivers can pick Georgia totally apart. Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing I've noticed is like Georgia has not been able to get the job done against the Crimson Tide. The only time they've beaten the Crimson Tide is the national championship for the 2021 season. And Alabama is basically their kryptonite. It's like a lot of people have forgotten that. Like, we're basically their kryptonite. I don't know why a lot of people have forgotten that. Now, I'm not saying they can't beat us. I'm saying they can. But I'm saying we can beat them as well. So we definitely have to make sure we've got everything all set. We've got our defense ready to roll. We've got our offense ready to roll. But we can definitely feel good about where the offense is heading for the Crimson Tide. And Stuff Barbie says, running backs, I think we can do without Jam, but Keenan is needed bad thing. Yes. Grubb needs to design run games, and O-line needs to block for run games. I couldn't agree more, Stuff Barbie. Because, like, the running back situation, I feel pretty good about. Oh. It's not all on Jam. It's not all on Jam. And that's what you want. You want a running back committee. You don't want it to just be all on one guy. Because when it's all on one guy, look at the Titans, for example. When they had Derrick Henry, all you got to do is push stop to Derrick Henry, and you got them beat, right? That's what you don't want. You want to make sure you got 3, 4, 5 guys ready. 3, 4, 5 guys. All of them, all set. That O-line. Oh boy, we need that offensive line all set and ready and raring to go. We have got to make sure we've got all our guys ready on the offensive line. Make sure we've got Ty, all the protection he needs. We got to make sure all our running backs are ready and set. Just get things rolling. Because if we don't, it's going to get ugly. I can promise you that. I can promise you it's going to get ugly. You don't want that one bit. I know I don't. I don't want it to get ugly. I want things rolling. I want things ready. But that's just me. I like to make sure, like if I'm the team, I'm making sure I've got 3, 4, 5 guys ready. You don't want to get overly reliant on one guy. Because when you get overly reliant on one guy, it never ends well. It does not end well at all. Not at all. And I hope that we get things set. We should. Because I feel like, because there are a lot of holes in Georgia's game against Tennessee. They got picked apart. They got picked to shreds by Aguilar. And again, had Tennessee not missed that field goal at near the end of regulation, they had lost for the first time since 2016, 2 weeks before the founding of TikTok against the Tennessee Volunteers. That's for sure. So we can pick apart that passing attack on defense. Ty Simpson can do that. He'll be ready to roll. And they had to deal with Joey Aguilar. They are not going to like having to deal with Ty Simpson. That I can tell you for sure. They're not going to like having to deal with Ryan Williams. They're not going to like having to deal with Jeremy Bernard. They're not going to like having to deal with any of them. They're just not. They are not going to like dealing with anybody. They're not going to be any. And that's just how it is. That's just not going to happen, man. No. So, but chat, what do you think? And for those tuning in on the video clip on Alabama with the Voice College Football, what do you think about the injury report for week 4, the bye week? Are we going to have a top-notch effect? Is it going to hurt us? Is it helping us? What do you think? Comment down below. Cut to next video. And for those watching on video clip, cut to the ad near the end of this video. Alrighty, you saw a fourth wall break again on Alabama with the Voice College Football. And as they say, well, break the fourth wall inside 16th wall, inside the 64th wall, inside the 256th wall. But we'll go over a little bit about Kalen DeBoer's press conference. And he talked a little bit about what the Florida State loss forced Alabama to do. And this is from a good buddy, Matthew Mason, from Touchdown Alabama. And he said, despite losing the season opener in ugly fashion, the loss forced Alabama to stick together and grow closer as a team. And he says, quote, I'm just really proud of our guys and the way they've handled any outside noise. As he said during the Monday Morning Quarterback Club in Birmingham, Alabama. They've understood that doesn't mean anything. It really matters what we think and what we do. And they've really channeled their focus and channeled their energy in the right things. And that's their preparation. It probably added a little fuel to the fire in some cases for individuals. But I think as a team, as a whole, they've been forced to stick together. Now, on another level, I hope that the edge that's created the last couple weeks stays. It needs to. I'm going to keep reminding them of that. And it's just a let to a lot of positive things in our football team. You hate to go through it, but right now, the adversity, we're better off because of it. I couldn't agree more. The Florida State loss, a lot of people may not want to hear it. This is going to sound like, it's going to put a little sugar in your coffee, so to speak. This for those that like black coffee only, of course. But that Florida State loss was a blessing in disguise. It woke us up. It woke us up. Man, we're not invincible. We are not invincible. And it really helped us just kind of step up a little bit, especially in the last two games. I don't like that we lost one bit. Like, I hated that we lost. I wanted to win against Florida State. But, hey, we might get to have a rematch in the playoffs if we keep playing the way we're playing. I mean, I don't want to wait till 2026, but that's just me now. That's just me. But, yeah, and of course, he gave the update about the health of the starters for Alabama, about what's going to happen with Jam Miller and Tim Keenan, what's going to happen from them. Whether they're going to return for week 5 against Georgia. So he went over a lot of that. And B. Jammin says, I'm not concerned about injuries. I wish the whole team would unplug from all the media, social media, and focus on improving themselves and the team. Yeah, I mean, we need to make sure we're improved as much as possible. Yeah, it is. It is do or die. We've got to make sure we've got things rocking and rolling for the rest of this month and October and November. We've got to make sure that. And we woke up. We've only allowed one touchdown. Like that's another stat as well. We've only allowed one touchdown on defense since we lost to Florida State. One touchdown. Yeah, that first touchdown from Wisconsin was a kickoff return. But other than that, only one touchdown. Think about that for a moment. Think about it. Like only one touchdown. We need to keep it up like that. I mean, I'm not expecting to shut out everybody every game. I'm not expecting that. But we do need to make sure we keep putting a ton of pressure on quarterbacks. Put a ton of pressure on running backs. Put a ton of pressure on offense like we did against Wisconsin. Like we did against Louisiana Monroe. And we need to make sure we have way more than 5 stats in our stat lines. We have to make sure of that. That is for sure. We have got to get that rolling, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, because like it was a blessing in disguise right there. And of course, we had like Bray Hubbard. That's another one right there. He's been amazing as well. Like the safety for Alabama is the co-defensive player of the week on Monday due to the victory. I mean, basically playing a part, 2 interceptions, 5 tackles, and helping Alabama hold Wisconsin 209 total yards. I mean, coverage grade of 92.0 overall, according to Pro Football Focus. That's a win there, right there. Oh, Toledo, that's the first time. That's the first weekly honor this season. I like it. And that's a huge win right there. That is another win for the Crimson Tide. We always need some wins, because we don't get some wins like that, then it's hurting right there. It is hurting. But I love seeing guys like Hubbard step it up a notch, because he's been playing a huge part in it. He's just been getting things rolling. But, and he felt like that we weren't like kind of stepping up in our own game against Wisconsin. But we're getting better. We are getting better. And college football blueprint is asking, who is your MVP offensively and defensively so far for the Crimson Tide? That's a very good question. For offensive MVP, I'm going Jeremy Bernard because he has been a tremendous leader for the Crimson Tide on and off the field. And when we were hearing last week of reports that Alabama was having a players only meeting for Louisiana Monroe, they were like, Jeremy Bernard was the leader, right? They were like the leader of this whole thing. He was getting things prepared. He's like, no, we got to step it up some. We got to step it up a notch. Then we saw that 73-0 victory. I mean, I know it's being Louisiana Monroe, but still, though, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. As for defense, I'm going to give it to London Simmons and Bray Hubbard because they have stepped it up. Those guys have stepped it up for the Alabama defense. They have gotten it rocking and rolling. I mean, if I want some guys behind with my back that will have my back, I know those guys will have it. London Simmons and Bray Hubbard. And you know, those are some top-notch guys. Like when Keenan was hurting, Simmons has stepped it up. He has stepped it up humongously for the Crimson Tide. I love what he's been doing. I truly do. And the fact is, as well, we're just kind of getting things rolling on defense. And again, all we have to do is just keep putting pressure on quarterbacks. Keep sacking the QBs. It will be good to go. We'll be more than good to go. And I appreciate that question from you, College Football Blueprint. Thank you very much. Oh, that's funny, Godfather. You're in the green room? Nice. I don't see you in the waiting room, but that's okay, man. Oh, and by the way, happy birth week to Godfather the SEC because his birthday was last Thursday. So we celebrate birth weeks right here at the Voice of College Football. So if you see Godfather the SEC in the chat, or if you see him in the comment section or anywhere you can find him, make sure you wish him a happy belated birthday, but also, most importantly, a happy birth week all the same. Oh, would you like to hear about some Voice College Football bets? Again? Well, let's tell it again, shall we?
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you've got top-notch bets coming your way, all right there on the Voice of College Football. So tune in. You won't want to miss them. Oh, let's see. You know, there was a guy that I saw today who's choosing between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Penn State Nittany Lions. I mean, he's somewhere, but I thought I saw him, but maybe I missed him. I don't know, but he is in the recruiting tier. But let's find some recruits, shall we? Let's go get them. Let's go get them. Because we've got all kinds of recruiting set. We're getting things set for 2026 and 2025. Well, I mean, not 2025, 2027. Excuse me. Blah. Where's my mind today? Good grief. Well, we're gonna see some. Let's see. Yeah. Well, we know Overton's gonna play. There you go. A winner. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Getting the winners, that's for sure. But why don't we go ahead and take a look at the AP poll rankings, shall we? Why don't we go ahead and take a look, ladies and gentlemen? Let's take a look at where Alabama is ranked for week 4. So we were below 20. We're going to get roll. Hold on. There we go. There. Oh, will do, Godfather. Will do. I'll make sure to do that. Yeah, so we're 14th in the AP poll and the coaches poll. And the outrage seems to be at the fact that Notre Dame is still ranked at 24th in the AP poll. I mean, 0-2. I mean, that's not good. I mean, I can understand the outrage. I mean, you're hot. You're not too happy about Notre Dame, but whatever. But the Crimson Tide, it's been a remarkable improvement. And you've heard me talk about Georgia a lot on this show. You've heard me talk a lot about LSU on this show. Looky here. Number 5. We got to go to Athens on September 27th. LSU, November 8th. They have to come to us. We don't have to play Texas A&M. We're good. Oklahoma has to come to Tuscaloosa. Question is, would we like to see Oklahoma beat Texas? Like, chat, what do you think? Do you care if Oklahoma beats Texas, or do you want Oklahoma to beat Texas? Because the reason why I ask this, is, and same thing with like Auburn, Oklahoma this week. I know that's not like a subject you like think about pulling for Auburn to win, but whoever wins makes Bama look good. That's the way I look at it. I like to think about strength of wins. And if Florida State winds up winning the AC, like goes from 2-10 to winning the AC all of a sudden, let's go for Bama, right? I mean, maybe this season will be the year where we finally see a Florida State-Miami AC title game. Although, I don't think the AC thought it was going to take 21 years to make it happen. But, again, October 4th, we'll definitely be pulling for Florida State to win against Miami because, like, I know it sucks to pull for a team that beat you. But if they beat Miami, then it makes Alabama look good. Just have to make sure they don't screw up against Virginia. And Godfather of the ACC says, yes. Stuff Barbie says Auburn will go 0-3 next 3 games. And I love it. That's funny, man. I don't know why, but I can't quite put my finger on it as to why. I just don't see. I feel like Auburn's going to pull off a few upsets. I don't know why. But there's something nagging at me saying Auburn's going to pull off a few upsets. There will be for sure. That's funny. He frees his face so red he needs blood pressure meds. Good grief. And again, it's just... Oh, I forgot about Missouri, didn't I? I forgot about them. Why did I forget about Missouri again, ladies and gentlemen? And I forgot about Vanderbilt. I am so sorry. Don't let me mislead you like that again, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, Vanderbilt, they've got an easy road for the next 2 games. Although, They lost to Georgia State last year because Georgia State, they seem to be an SEC slayer. They upset Tennessee 2019. They upset Vandy last year. I know you're thinking Georgia State and SEC slayer. Just look back at the last several years they've gone against SEC teams. Believe me, you don't want to underestimate them. I mean, they may not beat. They weren't going to beat Ole Miss. Like, the only thing to really bet on was whether they were going to beat the spread. That was it. But the Missouri Tigers are looking good with their new QB, Bo Perbula. But we'll wait and see what happens in that Missouri-South Carolina game. Because, again, after Georgia, we've got Vanderbilt coming to our backyard. We got to go to Missouri. Got Tennessee coming to our backyard. The only unranked teams we have on our schedule, on our remaining schedule, are South Carolina, who has been kicked off of the top 25, and Eastern Illinois. But Eastern Illinois, that's a game where you can sit and chill, although you want to make sure you win all the same. Don't ever throw the cart in before the horse. That's just a no-no. But yes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 remaining teams on our schedule that are ranked in the top 25. That is murderer's row right there. And, Vanderbilt. So Georgia is our road game. Mizzou is our road game. Auburn's our road game, of course. I mean, Auburn's not going to be in the top 25 by them when we play them. But don't be surprised if you see another close game from the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers. So that's what's going to happen there. But that will always be a funny sight to see Hugh Freeze having his face so red that he needs blood pressure meds. Well, you can always go mess around with the school payphone with Miss You-Know-Who. But that's how he got fired from Ole Miss. But alrighty, as we wrap up Crimson Tide Live 54, it was a short show, later than planned. And I can think of any of those 7 that are chokeable. Oh, wow. Ring, ring. There we go. But I can't make fun of Josh Heupel too much. Because, I mean, he's got that Bobby Hill wrist. What can I say? All I can say is he's seeming like he's the James Franklin of the SEC. He feels like he's the James Franklin of the SEC. But we'll know more on that as we go against them. And this year is the best year for Tennessee to beat Florida on the road in Gainesville the week before rivalry week. If they can't do it this year, they're never going to do it. Let's be real. But, of course, we didn't see Jeffrey on Talk Sports today because he was at work. No worries. But he will be back this week on Alabama with the Voice College Football for the college show, of course. And tell your friends, family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic we're all creating. All right, here on Alabama with the Voice College Football. You can check out Only Talk Sports at Only Talk Sports on YouTube and on X, where he talks sports every single day, or at least he tries to. So check him out on the magic he's making, especially with Will and D, on college football predictions and on the NFL predictions as well. And you can check out Coach Smoke Hines, who will be back on the Alabama Primetime Live show tomorrow night at the same time tomorrow on Coach Smoke at the Coach Smoke Network and on Alabama Voice College Football. And, of course, you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I've got numerous episodes of the Jacksonian coming up, including my earliest episode from Friday. Well, not Friday, from Thursday night with Mountaineer Paul from Locked On West Virginia, where he went over his backstory before he became a content creator. And he and I went over Rich Rod's second stint at West Virginia. and we went over all kinds of stuff, and it was a wild ride. And I'll be having Sonny Verma join me for an upcoming episode of the Jet Zone, and you might see Coach Burts on an episode of the Jet Zone as well. So we've got some fun episodes coming your way, and we've got Pitt's analysis with Sports Talk with Austin and the final whistle. We're covering, recapping the weeks of college football and going over our previews of the upcoming games, including the sloppy slate that's coming up for week 4. But as they say, when there's a sloppy slate, it means one thing: upsets are coming. And for more updates on what I've got going on Alabama, the Voice of College Football, or the Jet Zone, or on Pitt's analysis and the final whistle, check me out on JacksonVilleCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and threads at JacksonJohnson543-908. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and share each of the episodes of Alabama, the Voice of College Football, so you never miss another video whatsoever. And we will see you soon tomorrow, Thursday. And we're back next Monday as well. And roll tide!